the channel, guys. It's been a long time since I've worked on the MGB. Well, it's November and I'm going to use the winter months to complete all the jobs. So one of the first jobs I'm going to complete is to readjust the tappets. I've just had a standard stainless steel exhaust fitted, so I'm basically going to be going through, rebalancing the carbs, resetting the mixture, and basically just getting the engine running with the current exhaust setup. So wish me luck. I'm going to put you on time lapse. Got the rocker cover off, and you can see there it's in good condition. I know the oil's clean because I change the oil every 3,000 miles, but you can just see even the rockers are clean, and it does pay you to actually change the oil every 3,000 miles on a classic car or any car of this vintage. So what I need to do now is to get the manual out, see what the gaps are with the tappets, feeler gauges, screwdriver, and a slacking off. Again, you can just see there, to adjust it, well, we do the factor of 9. There are 8 rockers, but there's a way that you can actually identify which one needs to be adjusted by a factor of 9, which I'll explain in a moment. But that's how we adjust it. We need a ring spanner and a screwdriver there. Slacken off, well, basically put your feeler gauge in there when it's slackened off, and it's a definite gap what you need to measure to, again, to open or close, then to tighten down. So what I need to do now is to find the manual, find what the setting is, feeler blades, which are going to be an imperial rather than metric, and all the pieces I need to adjust. So give me 1 minute. Okay, welcome back. Well, I've got the manual out, and I just go to, we've got the engine specifications, but if you look down, again, idle speed, I normally have mine set at 800, 850, but here we've got rocker and valve rocker clearance. We're going to set when cold, and it is 0.0 15th of an inch, and again, got my feeler gauges there. So what we're looking at, and I said before, it's about this rule of 9. And I've just been spinning the engine over. I've got a pair of more grips down there. But we use 1/2 inch spanner. Goes on there. You can just see there. I'm just doing this with my left hand. Just there. And then you just slacken the locking nut off, and then you're just using an ordinary screwdriver. So for some people who don't understand what I'm talking about, is that we measure from here. So this is where we need to be, and it needs to be that you can actually get the feeler blades underneath the tappet. And I said about the rule of 9. The way this works is that everything adds up to 9. So I now know that if number 8 spring or valve is compressed. So the rule of 9 is, it takes, if 8 is closed, then 1 is going to be open. For example, if 7 is fully closed, so this is valve 7, you would adjust valve 2. If 6 is fully closed, you would adjust valve 3, and so on, as you work up the row or the valves on the head. So what you must do is just make sure when you are using, I'm just going to go down, you might see my mole grips there, spin the engine, and just try and find for the widest gap there. Look, looking at as the spring or the valve is actually tensioning. If I just spin the engine, it's quite hard to spin and hold the camera. But you're looking for that is completely compressed and then you just work down to number 1. Now I've tried number 1 and it doesn't need adjusting, but this I do think I've got a noisy tappet, so I'm just gonna go through them and actually adjust, you know, check and adjust each one. Okay, right, I'm gonna put you on time lapse. But again, as I said before, if number 8 is compressed, you adjust number 1. If 7 is compressed, you adjust number 2. So 2 add 7 equals 9. 8 add 1 equals 9. If it's 6 which is compressed, you adjust 3. 6 add 3 equals 9. So if you don't have the manual in front of you, which actually I do, you can use on push rod engines the rule of 9. Back. Well, I've adjusted the tappets and now it's to replace the rocker cover gasket, which is just beneath this rocker cover. I'm going to use the old trusted Hylomar, which I've been using for years. But what I want you to draw your attention to is the fixings. This is what came out. So this what happens is you put a seal in there and then that goes into there like that, with a cap over the top, and there's one which has just come out. So it actually screws onto the head, and then you fix the pipe. It's the heater bypass pipe goes above that, and then you screw it on and you put a nut on. And I always think it looks ugly, and you know, I even thought of like putting a domed nut, like a chrome or stainless steel chrome nut, just to hide the threads. However, a few years back, I looked at which is on the A series engine, which is the screw type. Well, I'm going to call them bolts, really, or nuts. Now, what if you can see there? I've used part of the old fixing. So this is the difference. I'm thinking of fitting that. And I've just polished it up, and they're both polished, they'll be fine. Do I use that? And then, you know, it just screws on. Or do I use that without the cap? And I really don't know at this moment. I like the idea that it actually covers the seal, it actually encloses the seal. So the more I think about it, the more I think, right, put it on there, and then I do have rubber washers to be all lubricated. You can actually put rubber washers on there, and I think there must be between. This must be, well, between the. I'm going to cover the bolt cover, but I'm just thinking I might also put a washer on top of the, not a washer, a stainless steel washer above the bypass. Just lubricate it. And you're just going to get, you know, you're going to get a nice seat to actually fasten down. I don't understand why MG did not actually, you know, put bolts in there or some sort of clamp, because they are prone to leaking. They are prone to leaking. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to Hylomar. I'm going to wait, stick it down, wait till it sets, and then I'll put it onto the head itself. I'm not going to try and misguide it and just find I'm just going to make a complete mess. I'm just making sure that the fixings are going to be, well, substantial and suitable, and it actually looks good. But I think it looks much better than those fixings, which, if I just put it like that, just much better. So you can see I've polished it up. It's come up a treat, actually. I'm really pleased with that. So I've adjusted the tappets. I am taking my time. There's no rush. It's the winter months, as I said before at the beginning of the clip. There's no rush. Polished up nice, wire wool, Autosol, which is actually quite bashed. I use it by the gallon, it looks like. But this is where I'm up to. Just simple things now. Just simple. Don't put it like that. The more I'm thinking of it, the more I'm thinking it's going to be like that. I think that's far better. Fixing. Again, I'll just apply a little bit of oil in there, so when I fasten it down, it's not going to get tight with the rubber, and it should get a good fix. Okay, bye for now. Back together, and if you notice, I've gone back to the original, and one of the reasons is the bolt is not long enough. The stem is not long enough to go into the head or into the rocker cover, and then to top it off, the new rubbers, let's get here, are too thick. And I'm going to work in millimetres around about 2 millimetres. And you might think, well, okay, 2 millimetres is nothing. But they have to compress, but you've got to get the bolt onto the thread. So I've cleaned them up. I will be looking out for some domed nuts. But it's all polished, it's all adjusted. Number 1 was a bit too tight. And number, I think it was 4, 6, 7 and 8, they were slack. So I just tightened them up. I've double checked them, and they're all within, in other words, with a tightness of 0.15 of an inch. So that's another job done. If you like and share. But those nuts what I showed you, they actually they don't work for the B series engine. When you have the this part here. Now the Mark 1s don't have that, and they have the copper, but they will not work. The stem's not long enough. So just a word of warning, I just wanted to tidy the engine bay. I'm just cleaning it during the winter time, just tidy it up, polish it. I need to look at the heat guard, I think it's what you call it, and that'll be another job on my list. And just give it a clean down, just the body. It's not going to be concourse, it's just going to be tidy and clean. But bye for now. You know, like, share, subscribe. But that's another job. And again, let's not forget, it's all been adjusted, and I've polished the rocker cover. So bye for now.